seminars is an author, keynote speaker, and master facilitator who has been more than 20 years of corporate executive experience to his programs and events. Steve's training background spans more than 20 years, where he has earned a solid reputation as an outstanding speaker, motivator, and instructor. He has provided training solutions to some of the most respected names in the business. Steve is the author of How to Have a Great Day Every Day. It's a great book. I read it often. And also the author of Customer Service is Not About the Customer. And Steve is a past president of the National Speakers Association in Illinois, and he speaks all over the country. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Steve Beck.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. It's thrilling to be here. Boy, ASA Northwest and Lunch and Learn. I love it. I love this idea. So I'm going to, before I launch into my little PowerPoint, I wrote some things down this morning, so I want to read them to you. Okay, so here they are. I got my little blue specs, and here we go. So it didn't sound like anybody was a brand new supervisor, so we don't have to worry about that. So I just want to say a few things before we launch into the Lunch and Learn. You want to take out of this session one nugget, okay? So that you can work on going forward. So it's not a waste of time. So that's what you want to do. Take one little thing, one thing. Okay, number two, I come from the point of view that you want to be the best. That's the fact. You wouldn't be on this Lunch and Learn unless you wanted to be the best. In the country, in the county, in the state, wherever you want to be. Why? Because I'm assuming that since if you want to be the best, you have a fabulous staff and you sleep well at night. Because people that have a fabulous staff sleep well at night. So, and the people that are on this are lifelong learners. Let me just point out a few things. The people that are lifelong learners are people like, Jason Hood, 23 years. What would Jason Hood learn after 23 years? He says, no, I'm here. I'm going to do it. Dave, 33 years. Are you kidding me? Jeff Baker, 24 years. So people that have been here for a long, long time. And Mark, good to see you, Mark. Nice, had a nice fishing expedition this summer. 50 years, been in the business. Why would you join this Lunch and Learn? Because you're smart. Because you want to learn something. That's the best of the best always are lifelong learners. So I am thrilled to be here to share this information with you. And you want to create a culture of excellence. That's what you want to do with this motivational leadership Lunch and Learn. And that begins with you. They say there's no I in team. Yes, there is. The I is right here, right here. That's the I in team. I did a seminar for supervisors in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And one guy stands up and supervisors, managers for a casino. One guy stands up and says, hey, I'm in charge of security. My people are ridiculous, deaf, dumb, and blind, pitiful, they're terrible. Another guy stands up and says, I'm in charge of table games. My people are fabulous. They're great. They're wonderful. So I said to them at that time, and I'll say to you, your people are a result of your management style. If you have a great staff, then congratulate yourself. If your staff is not great, look in the mirror and do what it takes to have a great staff. It starts with you. Let's launch this little program here. It's going to say share screen. I'm going to go like this, then a little PowerPoint here. And like this. And I'm going to have to go backwards. Here you go. Oh, okay, hold on. There you go. Okay, here we go. I was cruising. Here we go. Okay, here we go. And, okay. Leadership is simply motivating your team for success. It's a no duh. Whatever state you're in transmits to others. Eckhart Tolle. You got to look at and realize these people are watching you. Your staff notices how you handle other employees. Your staff notices how you handle customers, good ones and bad ones. Your staff notices how you walk in the morning, notices if you're a grump or you're pleasant to work with. Your staff notices how you talk to your family on the phone. Your staff notices everything you do. Your staff is noticing how you're dealing with this pandemic. Your staff is watching you, just so you know. So whatever state you're in, it transmits to others. And this Albert Schweitzer says, example is not the main thing in influencing others. It's the only thing. Who else said this? Don Shula. Dan Marino. Yeah, Dan Marino, Don Shula. Don Shula was the coach of the Miami Dolphins. They won every single game, even the Super Bowl they won in 1972. He said the exact same thing. Example is not the main thing in influencing others. It's the only thing. That's why it's so important, the way you walk in the door first thing in the morning. Einstein says we have to do the best we can. It's our sacred human responsibility. We have got a responsibility to each other to be our best. And if you are a manager, since you are manager, owner, supervisor, that you have a responsibility because these people are depending upon you to lead them to success, right? There's only one way to succeed in anything, and that's to give it everything. Vince Lombardi, I was a vice president at 23 years old, and I didn't know what I was doing, I must admit. I worked hard. I had a father that's born in 1910. My father said, just do what they say, work hard. So I did. And all of a sudden, boom, I got tapped on the shoulder. My boss says, you can be the vice president and director of operations now. I'm going to give you a $10,000 a year raise. I'm like, great. Didn't know what I was doing. Here's what I did. I based my leadership skills on sports people like Lombardi. Lombardi was one of the people I looked up to and still look up to. I mean, he's gone for a while, but he, like for instance, at Lambeau Field, the clock is 15 minutes fast. And people go by and say, hey, the clock's wrong. It's not wrong. It's Lombardi time. If you're supposed to be there at 8, he expects you there at 7:45. If you get there at 8, you're late. If you get there at 8:15, you're fired. I want to work for a guy like Lombardi. I want to work for somebody that's going to hold me accountable. And I want to hold my people accountable. Love them, love my people, love them, but I'm going to hold them accountable. And I did with those guys when I was this young 23-year-old. Because I used to go out, I hired my friends. And when I went out to the bar, some of the guys that I did not hire, we were all drinking beer. The guys that didn't hire, they go, what's he like to work with now that he's your boss? And they go, he's a jerk. He's a jerk. And they, use that all kind of language. And I go, yeah, that's right. I'm a jerk. And guess what? I'm your boss. So it's the way it is. So if you leave here today, you want to say, I will, as a result of participating in this Lunch and Learn, do one thing. Maybe you'll do one thing differently as a result of some of the things I share with you. So Jim Cathcart says, how is the person I want to become do the things I'm about to do? So you look at how you are in life and look at how you'd like to be, and you begin to emulate that person you'd like to become. Great way to live life, by the way. Because there's problems out there. Who's got the solutions? You do. You're the boss. You got the solutions. That's your hand. Because that's what they expect, you to have solutions when there's problems. Here's a book that I recommend. It's by the Gallup poll based upon, let me just read this, on the largest group of the future of work. It's the manager, they say, the book says. Gallup finds that the quality of managers and team leaders is the single biggest factor in your organization's long-term success. It's the managers and the quality of a manager is so important, how you do what you do. I got a dog named Charlie. Charlie's a little cockapoo. I caught him one time, he grabbed my phone, he took a selfie of himself, and there's the selfie. And I'm like, Charlie, come on, stay away from that phone. But he likes, this is a smile too. It's a smile. But here's what happens first thing in the morning. Charlie, when my foot hits the ground, Charlie wants me to pet him. He's right there. He's right there when I get out of bed, and he wants me to acknowledge him. Very interesting. So I pet him behind his ears. I pet him on the side of his, like on his jaw, and he loves it. Then he takes off. I'm good. We're good. We're good. But Charlie wants to know, I acknowledge him. He wants me to check in first thing in the morning. You know what I'm guessing here? Your people want you to check in as well. So I highly recommend when you walk in the morning, you make sure eye contact. You smile and say, good morning, how you doing? They might say, we got a problem. That woman brought this car in yesterday, and oh my gosh, we goofed up. And you say, wait, hold on. How you doing? How you doing? And they'll say, well, we got a problem. Say, yeah, we got a problem. We'll take care of the problem. But how are you today? You look good. Everything okay? They go, yeah, I'm okay. Okay, what kind of problem we got? I mean, you want to make sure, like Charlie, that they know you care about them. If you have people that they know you care about them, they'll run through a wall for you. They'll run around the earth for you if they know you care about them. They want to have a sense of purpose at work. They want to know their lives matter. How do they find out their lives matter? That's where you come in. There's ego leadership and servant leadership. And I put this down, and I'm sorry if this is a small little chart I'm going to show you in a minute, small little lettering. I'm sorry. But, over here, the boss is the ego leader. The leader is the servant leader. And if you go all the way down to the bottom, the ego leader says, go. The servant leader says, let's go. Ego leader commands. Servant leader asks. Big shot, big time ego leader takes credit. Servant leader gives credit. You want to be the kind of person that's a servant leader, so people say, I love her, or I love him. He is the best. She's the best boss I ever had. And if you say that, you'll keep the top 30%. You'll keep the best of the best of the best. Otherwise, if you don't care about your people, they'll leave you. They're brushing up their resume right now if you're the kind of ego leader. 3 things the best do. They hire the right people. And I always recommend when you hire somebody, have them spend the day before you officially hire them with your crew. And then ask your crew, what did you think? And if your crew all says thumbs up, and the crew can't complain if the person turns out to be a jerk. You see, but if you hire somebody, don't ask the crew, and all of a sudden they turn out to be a jerk, the crew's going to say, well, why'd you hire him? Why'd you hire her? What the? See, so you got to hire the right people. Otherwise, it'll take you a long time to get rid of them. Efficient systems. The best of the best have efficient systems, and they do training. They want to train your people. What Jeff talked about in January, and then there's vision, and there's ATE, and there's these lunch and learns. Take advantage of them. Take advantage of these so your people get buffed up. It's like polishing a pair of shoes. You want to make sure you are your best. And how do you do that? Training. The 30-40-30 you've probably seen if I've done a leadership keynote at ATE or a breakout session. And let's just look at this real quick. The top 30% are operating at 85% or better. They're focused, disciplined, organized. They're never late. They smile a lot, positive energy. They are great at what they do. The middle 40% are good, not great. Mood depends upon the day of the week. They're inconsistent. They're overwhelmed sometimes. They operate about 70 to 75%. And then the bottom 30% are your slugs. They're operating at 40 to 45%. I hope you don't have any slugs in your team. They're unfocused. They always complain. They're whiners. You see the first 3 that are canceled? That comes from an owner of an auto shop that said to me, I'm doing a seminar for his people. He goes, I got some technicians that are very focused. They're very organized, and they're never late. But oh my gosh, do they whine a lot. And their negative energy, it's really a problem. Even Jeff Lovell, when we were traveling around, as he talked about earlier, we went to one place, I'll never forget it. We did a talk. I don't know if you remember this, Jeff. Afterwards, this guy says, he had one of his father had passed away, and one of his father's partners came in all the time, and he was really, really, really negative. And he said to Jeff and I, what can I do? What should I do? I don't want to kick the guy out, but I don't want him to come in anymore, because that is a serious problem when you've got negative energy and you're trying to get a crew that's fabulous. Not easy. Then you got, if you keep thanking the top 30% and you support the middle 40%, your chart will look like this. And if you continue to do that, your chart will be like this. And if you have a chart like this, where 55% of people in your staff are firing on all cylinders, and 35 need to be coached, supported to go to the next level, and you might still have a slug now and then. That's a good organization right there. And I remember I was at ATE. I think last time I was there, it was lunch. And I was with a mom and pop who owned a shop and one guy who was about 35 years old. And I don't know how this came up, but this guy goes, he goes, I hate my job. We go, whoa. They were shocked. They go, whoa, you hate your job? He goes, yeah, but I'm really good at it. That's why I stay. And I thought, oh man, would I not like to work with you with that attitude? It was like he was doing them a favor coming to work. He didn't work for the people at the table, but he left and we go, what the heck? I said, what would you do with him? They go, we'd get rid of him. We don't want that kind of negative attitude or negative energy. See, if there's an elephant in the room, you got to do something about it. Just the way it is. And gave this talk to all over the place. One group from Great Falls, Montana, this guy, an owner of the company, told me he got rid of somebody after 30 years. He said, we should have done it a long time ago. I couldn't help but laugh. I thought, yeah, 30 years. And then another group, a healthcare organization, they said they got rid of a woman after 11 years. And it was there. And I asked what happened afterwards. And they go, oh my gosh, everybody's attitude got much, much better. Because if you don't take care of the bottom 30%, some people in the top 40% or top 30% might leave you. The top, they're not going to put up with that. See, the bottom 30%er doesn't realize that they're really obvious being a slug and a whiner and like that. They don't think anybody can see them, but everyone can see them. So like a bad attitude is like a flat tire. Can't go anywhere until you change it. And everyone's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll spend its whole life believing it's stupid. So if you have somebody on the phone that is has not a great personality, take them off the phone. Have somebody that's outgoing on the phone, an extrovert on the phone, somebody who loves people up. I call people all the time. So do you. I call certain places. I go, oh my gosh, they love me. Other people, my wife and I bought tile the other day at a tile store. Walked in, this person, they have horrible customer service. But one guy was great. So I don't even know how they're still in business. The people that check you out, can I help you? I love to imitate those people. It's like, you must love your life. You must be really thrilling, whatever. So I like it when he's around. I give him things to do and he gets them done. An absolute pleasure. This is from a top 30%er. It's wonderful to have them around. And the more you have those around, the easier your life will be, the easier your job will be. Here's a quick exercise. You have this right here. If you can see this in your handout, you got the bottom 30, the middle 40, and the top 30 on your handout. So here's what I want you to do. Write down your people's names in the appropriate boxes. If you had take a minute, and if you had to write down your people's names in those boxes, where would they lie? Where would they fit? Where would they end up? Then I'm going to explain something to you. Okay. If the person's name is in the top 30%, I want you to make sure in the next week you take them to the side, shake their hand. I mean, if you can shake their hand, I don't even know, this COVID thing's weird. Just let them know that you appreciate what they do, that they're making you look good. They're making the shop look good. They're showing the rest of us what excellence looks like. You want to make sure you acknowledge them and thank them. The middle 40% sometimes could be better. You could say to them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? They might say 7. Say, I think you're an 8. I think you're an 8 or a 9. They need to be supported. And the bottom 30%, don't spend all your time with them trying them to do their job. Have a little talk with them. Have them rate themselves on a scale from 1 to 10. They'll say they're a 10. And you say, I don't know. I think you're more like a 5. And then the conversation begins. How to have a great day every day is simply choosing to have a great day every day. I can go into detail about this, but real quickly, you just choose. You wake up in the morning, on your way to the coffee pot or the bathroom, you choose to have a great day. You don't have to tell anybody. Just decide, first thing, you're going to have a great day that day. And then leave your funk at the door. It means don't bring your personal problems to work. Don't bring your work problems home. Not good. And then start with yourself. Don't worry about your mother, father, your spouse, or you worry about you. You worry about you. You sculpt your own life. And then appreciate your life. It's got to do with looking around. I mean, right now, I don't know where you live in the United States, but where I live in the Chicago area, I mean, these trees are changing, and it's like Mother Nature showing off. They go from green to yellow to red. It's like, wow. The wind was very intense today. Blowing these trees around, it was like spectacular. So I really, let the little things in. And I recommend you do the same. Let the little things in, like breathing. It's like breathing. You breathe in the appreciation of life and then breathe out your appreciation of life. They say the more you have to be thankful for, the more you will have to be thankful for. So it's important to be thankful. And then affirm your day. And it's got to do with you. Well, here you go. I took this on the bottom right-hand corner. I took the on your handout, it says, let's see if it says right here. Yeah, my commitment to myself, my family, customers, as well as my staff and other managers and supervisors, starting tomorrow morning, October 30th, 2020, and going through November 19th. So it's 3 weeks, or for the rest of my life. So it says, affirm my day every day, saying with passion and excitement the following out loud. Yes, I ask people to affirm their day in every seminar I do. This one says, today's a great day. That's what you'll say first thing in the morning. Today's a great day. I'll be my very best all day today. I'm a great leader. I handle problems with ease. You got to say it with a little gusto, like you mean it. I demonstrate professionalism with everyone I encounter today. You've got to be a pro. If you're a leader, then act like one. If you don't want to be a professional leader, then don't be a manager. I recognize employees who demonstrate exceptional customer service. Smart idea. Perfection we will attempt. Excellence we will achieve. Where does that come from? Vince Lombardi. He said, this team will work on perfection. Knowing we cannot get there, we will get to excellence. And then the first 2 or the 3 Super Bowls, he won. F and G is for you to put down your own personal affirmations. I recommend when you put those down, you put on I am. Very important. It starts off I am. I am very healthy. That's what I highly recommend you put down, especially during these difficult times. I am very healthy. I'm a wonderful mother or father or brother or sister or son, or whatever it might be. And then make your bed. Yeah, well, you got to make your bed every day for the next 3 weeks. If you don't make your bed, you got to make your bed. And then sign in the bottom. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's for you. Who's going to benefit? Your staff. Excuse me, your spouse, your kids, your team, friends. Everybody will benefit, especially you. We have the same thoughts yesterday as we had today, or the same thoughts today as we had yesterday. We're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. If 95% of them are the same. So this is why you say, I am. Maybe you should say, I am a fabulous hunter. Jeff, I hear you're going to Montana to hunt. You say that. I'm a tremendous hunter. Like that. That's all you should say. Say that over and over again. And you'll probably get the first bull elk, right? Wait and see. Okay, it's simply a mentally preparing for the day if you affirm your day. That's all there is. Okay, qualities of a successful leader. Here we go, moving right along. A good leader is someone who's got clear goals, they have integrity, they set a good example, they have a vision for their, I mean, so in other words, speaking about vision, do you have like goals for how many cars you want to have in? I mean, you got so many bays. How many cars you want in for the next month, the next quarter, the next year? Or you go, no, we're just trying to get through the day. We're just trying to get to Friday. I don't know. We're just trying to get through to Friday's a good, good strategy. You want to let people know what your goals are, and do you recognize people for good work when they do it, and do you create stimulating work for them, and do you focus on the team, how important they are? Tommy Gaynor from Gators Automotive, he buys a grill he's got 4 shops, buys a brand new grill for all 4 shops, and then they brag about who's going to cook what on Friday afternoon, and they have ribs and they have fish, and so at lunch on Friday, they know somebody's going to grill something fabulous. So it's kind of a team thing. They have a great time. They love it. And he's got 4 shops, and Gainers Automotive wins the best place to get your oil changed in Clark County, which is where they're at, for the past 8 years in a row, and the best place to get a tune-up for the last 7 years in a row, because he's got a great team there, 4 great teams. So it's important that now here, watch this. On a scale from 1 to 10, you got to evaluate yourself as a successful leader based upon what I just went over. Your focus, you checking in the morning with people, having fun, building a team, holding people accountable. That's a successful leader. So think about those. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, you got to evaluate yourself, and you got to tell the truth, because maybe by the next lunch and learn that you'll be better. You'll go from a 6 to a 7 or 7 to an 8 as far as some of these qualities goes. Some of these right here. Maybe you'll walk taller. Maybe you'll come in earlier. Maybe you'll begin to support that middle 40% to get them to the top 30. And then your top 30 will go to top 55%. Investors Business Daily, 10 Rules for Success. I'm going to read this to you. This comes from the page 4. I'm sorry, 3. Page 3 of this newspaper that's distributed all over the world every day. It's the Wall Street Journal's competition. Here's what it says. It says the 10 Investors Business Daily has spent years analyzing leaders and successful people in all walks of life. Most have 10 traits that, when combined, can turn dreams into reality. Number 1 is how you think is everything. Always be positive. Think success, not failure. Be aware of a negative environment. 2, decide upon your true dreams and goals. Write down your specific goals and develop a plan to reach them. Writing a goal that's not written is a dream, it's a wish. You want to write down your goals that you have for personal and professional, for your shop, and where you want to travel to next year, what you want to do next year. Fun goals, Take action. Goals are nothing without action. Number 4, never stop learning, like you're doing today. 5, be persistent and work hard. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. 6, learn to analyze details. And when I talk to people that are really successful, they're really detail-oriented. 7, focus your time and money. Don't let other people distract you. 8, don't be afraid to innovate. Be different. Following the herd is a sure way to mediocrity. 9, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, deal and communicate with people effectively. No 2 people are the same. Different people in different roles. How do you support them? How do you manage them? How do you motivate them? How do you inspire them? We'll talk about that in about 2 minutes. Be honest and dependable. Take responsibility. It says otherwise, rules 1 through 9 won't matter. So, deal and communicate with people effectively. Here are the 4 different personality types, kind of like the DISC method, but it's not actually the DISC method. It's a little different. This comes from Motorola, and it talks about drivers, analytical, amiable, and expressive. The ones over to the right, the driver and expressive, they're dominant. They lean in when they make a point. Analytical and amiable, they lean back when they make a point. The amiable and expressive, outgoing. Analytical and reserved, the driver, they're reserved with their feelings. I remember this casino, by the way, I did in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I was doing customer service for them, and they had 1,000 employees. And the guy that was in charge, the general manager, was he was analytical, good with numbers, and he was a driver. He wanted to get things done. He wasn't very friendly. Wasn't touchy-feely. Wasn't gooey. None of that was going on. So one of the employees said to me, so, we're here, and you got John, the general manager, who's not very friendly, who sometimes doesn't even say hello to me when he walks by me. He hired you to have us be more friendly with the customers, with the guests. I go, yeah. What about him? I said, let's not talk about him. Let's leave him out of the equation here, please. And the guy, he wouldn't, why? Why isn't he more friendly? I'm like, take it easy. But he wasn't. So here's on your sheet there that you have, I talk about the analyticals are like technicians. The drivers like managers. Amiables are like HR people. And the expressives are like service advisors. So expressives are outgoing people. Technicians, analytical, are not. So extroverts are expressives. Get them on the phone, extroverts. But the introverts are the technicians. The communication between these two have got to be very good. And sometimes they drive each other nuts. Amiable, and they're the exact opposite as well. Amiable and drivers. So you can't motivate an expressive like you'd motivate an analytical. Analytical, they're heady, okay? You don't walk up to them and say, give me a big hug. Come on, man. Come on. Don't do that. They don't want you to touch them. Expressives, they'll say, give me a big fat hug. They'll hug you in a heartbeat. So amiables really care about how things affect people. And drivers are just, they get it done. Let's get the job done. They don't want to be friendly necessarily. Let's get the job done. Shut up and do your work. So you've got to manage all 4 types. So you should know how to read these folks. If you know how to read your people, you'll know what turns them on and turns them off. You don't want to turn your people off. You want to turn them on. So for instance, if they were LA Lakers fans, all you have to do is walk in and go, what about that game last night? When they won it all. And that person would go, they'll jump out of their skin. They'll be like, oh yeah, champions, or they're a Dodger fan, Now, if they're a Tampa Bay fan, you don't want to say, what about that game last night? Wasn't that great? Not good. So you want to make sure you know what they love and don't love. And then talk to them about that. Know what inspires your folks and go down that lane, that tunnel. The effective strategies for these folks. Analyticals, slow down when you talk to them. Be businesslike, no small talk. Amiables, slow down to talk to them. You got to show personal interest in them. They like that. Drivers, you want to stress results. They want to know the bottom line. They're bottom line people. They want to know. You might be one of them. If you're an owner, you got to have some of this inside of you. And you're expressive, let them emote. They want to have fun. So if you're an owner or manager or supervisor, you want to have all 4 of these. And I took a test one time, and a personality test. I was in sales, and it was the year 2000. And I was all 4. The numbers were 10 and 9 and 10 and 9. So that's what I scored. Very similar to all 4. I said to my boss, hey, I'm balanced. He said, you're schizophrenic is what you are. I'm like, come on. So, but it's good for you when you're dealing with these folks to know what they're like so you can flex your style to deal with people that are not like you. Lastly, the leadership wheel of life. Let's look at these areas of your life. And we look at being on time here, completing projects, goal setting, time management, stress management, checking in first thing in the morning, like I do with Charlie, like I recommended that you did with your people. Coach and you monitor and delegating. So what I'd like you to do is put a dot in each quadrant. There's 8 quadrants. So how good are you at being on time? Closest to the center of the circle is a 1 or a 2, not very good. Closest to the outside of the circle is a 10 or a 9 or a 10. You know, that's where you put a little dot right there. So right now on your handout, put a dot in the being on time. If you're on time half the time, then you put a dot right in the middle, right in the middle of that quadrant. Completing projects. Are you good at completing projects on payroll and handling things like this, or is it like, oh, I'm always behind? Then you give a little dot close to the middle of the circle. If you're very good at completing projects, it's towards the outside of the circle. Goal setting. Again, does your people know how many cars you want to have in there? Do they, or no, we're just trying to make it through. If you're trying to make it to Friday, then your dot should be close to the center. If they know, and you got a goal of how much money you want to make and how much, each, week and quarter and year, and you have goals in your life, personal and professional, then put a dot towards the outside of the circle. Time management. Time management and the other one, delegating, are pretty much the same thing. If you're not good at delegating and you say, if I want something done, I do it myself. That's how I know it's done right. If you're one of those people and you're not good at delegating, then you're probably not good at time management. So you want to put a dot in, or maybe you are very good at delegating and you're very good at time management. Stress management. Let me ask you this. How are you handling this pandemic? And I'm serious as I'll get out. Maybe you'll put a dot towards the middle of the circle. You're like, no, it's stressing the hell out of me. Or you go, no, I'm handling it very well. And I'm supporting people in doing so as well. So you put a dot towards the outside of the circle. Because I have not met one person that said, this is not taking a toll on me. It's taking a toll on every single person. I don't care who you are, where you live, or how famous you are, how much money you have. It has taken a toll on people. The greatest fear we have is the fear of the unknown. And this thing is the unknown. How long will it last? Will there be a solution? Will there be a pandemic? What's going to happen? So people are scared, whether they admit it or not. And then checking in first thing in the morning. Do you check in with your people first thing? So you want to put a dot there. If you do, then outside of the circle. If you don't, excuse me, towards the middle. How about coaching and motivating your staff? Do you do that? If you do it, then put a dot on the outside of the circle. If not, towards the inside. And then I want you to connect the dots. Connect the dots, connect the dots, connect the dots, connect the dots, connect the dots. So then connect the dots. And now it's called your leadership wheel of life. So that's my question to you is, if that's the wheel you drove to your job with today, how smooth would the ride have been? And I'm not here to point my finger and say, what? You got a 3 on one of those? What? No, this is just a report card for you to know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. And some people say, develop your strengths. Marcus Buckingham talks about developing your strengths. And I understand it's very important. I also think it's important for you to work on your weaknesses as well. So you can be complete and great and fabulous leader. Okay, do unto your employees as you would have them do unto you and the customers. I think it's, if you take care of your employees, they'll take care of the customers. If you're a jerk to your employees, why would they take care of the customers? They don't care. You don't care. They don't care. But if you do care, they'll take care of your customers. So keep in mind, you want to leave here with one thing, one nugget when you leave here. The strength of the group is the strength of the leaders. your shop revolves around your leadership. Luke Holt says, it always amazes me how some people are born with so little, accomplish so much, and how others who are born with so much accomplish so little. So let's review quickly. We talked about witnessing, you watching yourself as a leader. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's got to do with you looking at yourself with a GoPro camera and watching how you walk in, watching how you treat people. You're being watched by your people. How about you being self-aware of how you do what you do? That's what witnessing is. We talked about being a top 30 leader. You want to take care of your people in the top 30 and the middle 40 and the bottom 30, but you also want to be that type of leader, a top 30 leader. We talked about having a great day every day, leaving your funk at the door, qualities of a successful leader, 4 different personality types, communicating appreciation. I recommend you highly thank them, the people that are your top people, and all your people. Thank them for what they do. They're making you look good. The fact they even come in is a great thing. We talked about the leadership wheel of life, and then we talked about having a commitment. Do one thing when you leave here. So, any questions? And let me tell you real quick. I have a motivational leadership series. Same thing I'm talking about today. 4 hours in November, if you're interested. And I'll show you what it's $129 every Monday. Managers, supervisors, owners should take it. Watch this now. At the very bottom, it says, at the end of the series, you'll be required to complete 3 things for your commitment to excellence going forward. I'm going to ask the participants to fill it out and give it to their boss. So if you have anybody that you would like to send, it's on my website, beckseminars.com. Or if you want, I'll send you the flyer. You can sign up with the flyer. But it's just the same thing we talked about today on steroids. So thank you for being here. And let's talk about questions. Brenda?
Someone asked if it was being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded, and you can view it on our website after tomorrow.
So far, I don't have any questions yet, Steve, to you.
Okay, Jeff, if you put it on the website, does that mean that the people that missed it could see it, right? No problem.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, good. Well, I think you might want to share it with anybody that couldn't make it because they had to work or whatever. They could watch it at night. They could watch it over the weekend.
You betcha. Yeah, we have all of our Lunch and Learn series are all on the website. So you can go to our website and go to the resources, training resources, and click on that, and it'll take you to the series of all the Lunch and Learns that we've had.
And I heard a couple of them are great. They were great. The topics I heard when I talked to Brenda originally, I said, what are some of the topics? She said, we had so-and-so talk about this, so-and-so talk about that. Wow, those are great.
Yeah. Well, hey, Steve, really appreciate you being on today, taking the time to do this with us. You're a great speaker as always, and really enjoy having you. I think we have you back in December. We have you coming back and doing another one for us. So I told Brenda, I said, let's see if we can get 2 off, Steve, because
and you did.
So.
I'm looking forward to being back in December.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on, and don't forget tonight, all the attendees, don't forget tonight is our Halloween costume hour, and dress up in your favorite. And we're just gonna, everybody from the whole region, whoever's in, just talk about what you're doing in your business and how things are going for you. It's just kind of like an hour of just sharing information with each other and having a good time. So we haven't done this before, so it's a first for us. So we just thought it would be kind of fun to do. And so we hope to see you tonight. And if not, we'll see you November 12th for our Lunch and Learn, How to Prepare to Sell Your Business by Bob Ward. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, ASA.
All right. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you, Steve.